Okay, so today I wanted to come and make a video about how we're going to do school while on our trip, because it is going to be August and we probably won't be in our new home until September would be my guess. That light is really bugging me. And so everything we do, we have to fit in the car. My kids don't normally do electronic curriculum, but I'm going in a van with 4 kids, 5 dogs, 6 hermit crabs, and 2 lizards. I don't have room nor the brain power to take a full curriculum for each child in the car. So I had to come up and be creative, and I have one that will be attending public high school once I get to where we're going, and she will be starting not at the beginning of the school year, so I want to make sure that she doesn't fall behind. So what I have done is I bought a really cute notebook from, it's not gonna let me switch my view, is it? From Target. So really cute. And inside, we're using Khan Academy as our main curriculum until we get moved. There's nothing wrong with using it all the time, but again, my kids, I don't usually do online curriculum unless I can print stuff because I like to. But I took a day, I don't know, because I can't turn my camera, and I don't know why I can't turn my camera. But I took days, if you can see that, and wrote out each subject in a different color and swapped alternating subjects. And then the second day was under a line with the date on the side and all of that. So they have every assignment for the subject. So this is for my incoming 7th grader. So she has math, which she's doing math for. I know she's in 7th grade, but she's not quite ready for math 7 because she has dyscalculia and dysgraphia and dyslexia. So she is a little bit behind in math and reading and writing, but she is at or above grade level in science and history because we do a lot of videos for those, and she gets a lot of information from them. She is not stupid by any means. She's very smart. She's doing biology this year, which is, I put her in the middle school biology for Khan Academy, but once we get settled, she will be doing crash course human anatomy and physiology. And with that, she will be doing a lot. It's basically a high school curriculum. Like, all the videos are aimed toward high school in crash course. So she will have plenty of information there. And then she is doing they each have to watch a science video of their choice from SciShow. And then she and her older brother are doing U.S. history because they're both in middle school. And then they watch a history video from Crash Course of any choice video that they want, but they have to pick one from Crash Course. Then her brother and their second oldest sister, my 15-year-old, are all doing storytelling on Khan Academy. And with that, they are working together. They decided on their own to work together. They could have worked by themselves, but they wanted to work together to be able to put their story together and build their imaginary world. They decided that that was the way they wanted to approach it. And I thought that was really cool. I love that they're going to work together. I just told them they have to write their stuff down separately and make sure it's written in their notebooks. And then my 7th and 8th graders will be doing reading and vocabulary with Khan Academy. My 7th grader will be doing 4th grade because, again, she's dyslexic. And I'm hoping by the time we get done with some of that, we will be able to move on to higher level vocabulary and reading. And we have a few things we're going to be working on once we get settled that will help improve her reading faster. So I will share that when we get there. And then they have to read for 30 minutes. My 8th grader will be doing a grade appropriate reading and vocab. And then he is doing physics because he wants to be an engineer. And my high schoolers, one is doing chemistry and the other one is doing high school physics. Well, AP physics. And then we have world history for the 10th grader. And the 11th grader is doing U.S. government and civics. And then we have Algebra 1 for my son and my 15-year-old, my 13 and 15-year-olds, and Algebra 2 for my 16-year-old. And then in the car, on top of all of that, I don't know how to set this up so you can see it. I have a bucket, and it has art supplies, books for them to read, human anatomy books. Hopefully you can see it all. Hidden searches, coloring books, sketch pads. They have books to read from different things, including Usborne. I have a few more coming and a few more they bought that they haven't put in here yet. This one is a journal my daughter got for herself. And Magna, drawing Magna, and Sudoku, and more books. It's mainly books because my kids like to read, and my son has a few toys in here, but my kids like to read tons of things, and they like to read, even though they have the online reading stuff like Learning Ally and Epic, and we have audiobooks through Audible. My kids like to read books that they touch. So on top of that, they went to a local library and were talking to librarians and made friends in a day because we hadn't went to this one before. We just needed somewhere to go while we were doing an open house. And sorry, I'm putting the lid back on this box because it's going in the back of the car. But they were doing the library while we had an open house, and they made friends and told them that we were moving and they wouldn't be back because they were offering them some coupons because they were going to buy a couple of books for like 50 cents and $1. And when they told them that we were moving and they wouldn't be able to do that, and they noticed the love of my kids for books because my 15-year-old picked out Pride and Prejudice. My 16-year-old picked out like 3 books, and then the younger ones picked out a book each. And so they gave them the books for free because they were like, you don't see kids that love to read as much as my kids do on that day. So they gave us free books. And then I have a few more coming in either tomorrow or the next day from Usborne so that we can round out the books and they have a few books to read. I didn't show you all the books in there because there's a good 50 or 60. I think they have most of the 39 Clues series. They have Vlad, the World's Worst Vampire series, the Divergent series, Hardy Boys, what else did I see in there? There's a Pokemon series, and I'm missing a bunch of series. There's like several series in there. And then they each got a book at Target the other day because they've read most of the ones in there. And they're going to get bored rather quickly because they've already read them. And so we got them each a book at Target. And my 15-year-old picked out a Magna book. Or not Magna. It's Japanese. You read it backwards. Comic book, basically, but not. My son didn't pick out one. And then my oldest picked out... I don't remember what she picked out. But my youngest picked out a book that she's read before on Learning Ally. And she knows she can get it on Learning Ally. And it's called Ghost. And the author has a book called Sisters and Smile and different things. And she really liked it, but she wanted a book to hold while she listened to it on Audible or on Learning Ally. Even though you can see the words on Learning Ally, she wanted to physically hold the book as she read it. So I was like, go ahead, get it. That will be your book to take with you on the road trip. And so our plan is they will not have access to anything else on their phones except for Khan Academy from the time they get up and till they finish all their schoolwork, and then I will unlock their phones and they will have free access to do what they want on their phones or read a book physically, or we'll have the Switch with us. But in the first thing in the morning, we will, before we start on the road, we'll take the dogs for a walk, feed the lizards, and put them in the sun for a little bit because they're going to need to heat up if they're going to be able to process their food. And check on the hermit crabs and make sure that everything's copacetic with them and they're good. Eat breakfast. And then we will get in the car. And while we're in the car driving, they will do school on their phones and in their notebooks. Because some of Khan Academy requires you to write, which I like. Because I want them to write stuff down. Because that's an important skill to have. And then... so they'll do that in their notebooks. They can either do it in the notebook where I put their lesson plans, or they have another notebook. And we're getting some other things for school, so they might be able to move that around. And then they'll have that free time to do their art, draw in their sketchbooks, because they're not going to want to be on their phone. I mean, the first couple of days, they're going to be on their phones. Let's not lie, like 24/7. But eventually, they're going to get tired of being on their phones, and they will want to do something else. So I am going to encourage them when we go to the Grand Canyon and we go to a few different places, like all the places that we're going to stop, that they take time to draw some of the things they see as a memory. And I am going to encourage them to take pictures because I want them to be able to share with their friends. And we'll see how everything goes. I just really want to make sure that they are doing something productive, because being not productive is not going to be an option. Because then when we get settled, they will not want to do anything. But homeschooling on the road is going to be interesting with 5 dogs, 4 kids, 2 bitter dragons, and 6 hermit crabs. I will make a video one day and share with what I'm doing with the hermit crabs. Because we got to do a few more things to their travel container. Though I'm kind of nervous about taking them with me because they have a lot of needs and a lot of possibility of dying. But my daughter doesn't want to get rid of her crabs, and they got to move with us. So options for that one are going to be limited as long as we make sure that everything's taken care of. I'm going to cut off now because I need to go get kids ready for bed and dogs fed and prepare for more packing and prepping for moving tomorrow. Bye.